Hey everyone, it's Michael V. Moore, aka MicVinny, and right in front of you, we have one of the top Tex-Mex restaurants in all of America. So what this is I'm going to show you how to eat when you travel. And today's special restaurant is Chipotle. Hope I'm saying it right. Chipotle, Chipotle, Chipotle. Haha. But yeah, Chipotle. So as you can see by these lovely, lovely pictures, they're pretty dedicated towards making customers aware of their healthy options. And that's been one of the biggest appeals of Chipotle is their ability to give you quality ingredients as well as humane conditions for the animals that they use for their protein or their food. So just if you just visit their website real quick, you can see how much they highlight, all their sustainability stuff, and as well as just provide you a look in their kitchens because they take a lot of pride in how they prepare their meals. So that's what makes Chipotle one of the top choices for when you traveling. So no matter where you travel at in the United States nowadays, you're most likely going to find a Chipotle close by. And I wanted to start this series off with Chipotle because I feel they're the top dog as far as when it comes towards the Tex-Mex restaurants. They're definitely the top dog, and just you can see the quality and care they put into providing for their foods. And just like all foods out there, there's really no such thing as a bad or good food. It's just a matter of what you put in your body at a given time. And so Chipotle goes out its way to try and give you quality ingredients, but even with all their great quality ingredients, you can still butcher a meal. So when you go to Chipotle, primarily you're probably going here for some type of burrito. And so I kind of just want to help you understand like the differences and the choices you probably didn't realize you had when you eat at places like Chipotle. So I'm not able to film this from an actual Chipotle location. I'm just going to use their website to kind of school you. So here I'm just going to look at the nutrition. And ooh, before we even go that, well, they got it here. So when you go to Chipotle, you typically get a burrito, either tacos, and then some types of chips and salsa. So recently, they kind of gave you well, I can't say recently, ever since they've been around, they provide you with a healthier option, I guess you can say, called the burrito bowl and salad. So when I say a healthier option, I hate when I say that right from the get go because it's true you can have a normal burrito if you're careful with what goes in the burrito. But when most people think of burrito bowl versus burrito, they automatically think the burrito bowl is the healthier option. But you can still butcher a burrito bowl if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't know why you're eating this food in the first place. And same thing with a salad. Like salads always, for some reason, come across as the cleanest, most healthiest, nutritious option. But the sad truth is you can butcher a salad as well. Okay. And I find this very curious because I never realized they had salads and burrito bowls at Chipotle because I don't go here that often as much as I used to back in the day. So I thought that, just the burrito bowl or just the salad, I didn't realize they separated those two, which I find pretty interesting because isn't a salad basically a burrito bowl? Yeah, we'll find out. I guess, yeah, we'll see. Um, so yeah, so when it comes towards Chipotle, most people get a burrito. So we're gonna dig into that first. So a typical burrito is, a flour tortilla, some type of protein. So in this case, we're gonna act like you're healthy. So you think you're doing a good job. So you're gonna select the chicken. You're gonna do your fillings. So most people automatically avoid white rice for some reason, and they'll go with the brown rice instead. So then you have pinto beans and black beans. If I click on pinto beans, I'm going to click on both of them at the same time. And if you look in, if you can see my mouse, there's like a column for protein. Let me get it closer. So right here, 7 versus 6 grams. So this is what I do when I look at this. But we're not going to necessarily pay attention to these numbers right now. So I just want to show you that there's pretty much just a slight difference in the beans type of beans. So I'm just going to select black beans. Okay, then people always get some type of salsa. And then if you look down here at the calories, you see it's 835 calories, 50 grams of protein, which isn't too bad, and 105 carbohydrates. All right, and 23 grams of fat. So I would love for that fat to be a little lower, but it is what it is because you're eating at a fast food restaurant. And if you follow MicVinny in the past, or if this is your first time following me, you understand my philosophy. So you always try and get as much protein as possible, but then when it comes towards your energy, you're either getting your energy from carbohydrates or fat. So if one is high, the other is lower. So here is 105, and over here is 23 grams of fat. So you want that as low as possible. In this case, this is the lowest you can get right here. But remember, we're not even perfecting this burrito yet. We're just getting what people normally get. Okay, so I just want to take a pause so you understand, see what you got so far, which isn't that bad. Isn't that bad at all. But now we're going to add typical sour cream, and we're going to add some cheese, and we're going to add some lettuce. And in this case, so we just reached 1,000 calorie marker, which isn't too bad. But now let's add some chips and salsa. And now we're 1650. Okay. And remember, this doesn't even include the soda. So if you include a soda, you can automatically add close to, let's say, 31 grams, let's say 30 grams of carbohydrates is normally in this, like a 12-ounce soda. So you got 30 grams of carbohydrates times 4, that's 120. So it just add 120 more calories to this. Yeah. And that would give you, close to, 1760 total calories, okay? Or 1,760 calories. I apologize. Mr. Engineer over here sometimes can't do math. So yeah, so when I look at these numbers, like I said, the numbers aren't horrendous, but you can do a better job. So just this default burrito, remember I did not get any extra sides or anything. All I got was the side of chips and salsa, lettuce, cheese, sour cream, brown rice, black beans, chicken on a flour tortilla. Okay. So when I see these numbers, the 186, the 66, and the 67 grams of total fat, the first thing I see is the fat is equivalent to the protein. I don't like that. It's one of these things when you travel, you can always expect there always to be more fat than you would like, and that's one of the things you kind of have to accept when you travel. So because of that, you always try and lower your carbohydrates somewhat, because there's always hidden fat in what you eat. But in this case, I feel we can do a better job. All right. And so it's like, Michael, so what is a better job? Glad you asked. Let's take out the obvious choice. So remember, this total right here doesn't even include the soda. So first off, I would take the soda out the equation. So replace that soda with some type of water, just water, or just unsweetened tea, because you don't need it. You need to grow up. You don't need all that unnecessary sugar, because it does nothing for your body. The first to go will be the chips and salsa. That is unnecessary because the chips, if we look at what it is a lot of unnecessary. But 27 grams of fat in this chips and salsa, all because it's fried tortilla chips. That's crazy. That's just crazy. 74 grams of carbohydrates. That's to be expected because it is chips from corn. But let's take this out of the equation. And just by taking it out of the equation, you're almost down at the 1,000 mark again. Okay. So when I'm looking at this, the next thing I will probably take out is the sour cream because it's not necessary. Looking at the calories, it's not horrendous, but it's just not necessary at all. So let's take that out. And you see, just by taking those two key ingredients out, we already reduced our fat in half. And so now we're getting down towards that positive type of meal. Okay, so with the cheese, we're going to take it out for now. But cheese for me, if you have a dairy problem, obviously you would take it out. The cheese here is only 100 grams of fat, or excuse me, 100 calories to begin with, and it's the same amount of protein in the fat. So it's not like it's hurting for 100 grams. So it's one of those, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Most people would probably take it out, so I'm just gonna take it out. But I'm not gonna hate on you if you kept the cheese. Um, but here's where we're gonna make our improvements. So let's go back to the top. Okay, so you have your tortilla, and first off, if I was to have a flour tortilla burrito, it most likely would be because of the simple fact that I just worked out. So if you worked out anywhere from, let's say, a half hour to, let's say, 3 hours, that's me giving you a pretty big window before you have this meal. I don't see anything wrong with having the flour tortilla. I would probably say, yeah, go for it so you can get that extra carbohydrates. Because as you can see right now, when I took that cheese out, the sour cream, the chips, this actually isn't a bad ratio because you always want to try and eat, a 1-to-2 ratio of protein and carbohydrates. So you see what I currently have. You have 50 grams of protein to 100 grams of carbohydrates with just 23 grams of fat, which isn't too bad. That's a pretty good post-workout meal right there. If that was your case, this would be awesome. The only thing I would change is vegetables. You want to add a serving of vegetables to it because I hate to tell people this, but yeah, lettuce, yes, it is technically a vegetable, but there really there's like no nutrition there. So you want to get some type of vegetable in. So the fajita vegetables are not the greatest in the world. If this was a salad bar, you would go crazy, but it is what it is. After all, this is the restaurant you're at, so you have to do with what you have in front of you. So just get a side of vegetables on your burrito and consider it. One side to two sides of vegetables. I personally, I would probably double the amount of vegetables. Okay. And then here, brown rice and white rice. For some reason, people think that brown rice is automatically healthier than white rice, and that's discussion for another day. But I just want to go out and tell you, like, especially if you just got done working out, get the white rice. White rice is not going to cause as it's not. Gosh, man, I'm about to get mad here. But basically, white rice is not evil. People try and demonize carbohydrates. If you're eating a flour freaking tortilla, then you're going to be picky over white rice, and you're going to go with the brown rice instead of white rice. You don't see that you get a big issue there. Okay, so don't even go there. So there's nothing wrong with white rice. White rice is actually easily digestible compared to brown rice. A lot of people don't realize that with a lot of the fiber things that people think contain a lot of fiber and you need to eat lots of fiber. Let's have these side by side. As a matter of fact, you see, there's really not this huge amount of difference. 1 gram of fiber compared to 2.5 grams of fiber. Wow. Okay. Versus, why don't you just eat more beans instead? If you're so gung ho and getting your fiber from brown rice, look at how much fiber beans have compared to brown rice. That's why I think it's ridiculous when people try and argue about brown rice versus white rice. If you just worked out, you want to have carbohydrates in your system that's going to help with insulin, and that is what white rice helps out with. Okay, so go with the white rice instead of brown rice. Um, Keep the black beans, and in this case, I would double the amount of chicken because if you double the amount of chicken, you're gonna get about 32 more grams of protein, which is awesome. And then that would probably be the biggest change I make. So I'll double the amount of chicken. You can keep your flour tortilla, handle white rice, go with black beans, go with vegetables, the salsa, and lettuce. Take out the cheese and the chips and salsa, and bam, you have a pretty good meal here. All right, so you're getting close to like about 1,000 calories if you double the chicken, right? So you can eat all that at once, or you can divide it up depending on your ratio, how many meals you're eating a day. But that's a better option. But for those who are this is like meal number 2 of 7 meals or something like that. If you're eating a lot of meals in a day, you probably just want to take the flour tortilla out. And immediately when you do that, you see how much the calories drop. Now you have 560 calories. And then in this case, remember I said they won't allow me to do this on here, but if you double the amount of chicken, that's 75 grams of protein, and it's only like about 740 grams of total, or 740 total calories. And look at that amount of fat. You want to add 7 more to that, so that's under 20 grams. So that's a pretty good meal, a high protein, lower amount of fat to carbohydrate ratio meal, and that's awesome. And this is a meal you can eat any time of the day, or even if you want to make this your post workout meal, this would be a good ratio because you almost have a 1-to-1 ratio of protein to carbohydrates, which isn't too bad for a post workout meal, especially if you're eating multiple meals during the day. So you don't want to go overboard with your calories here. So this is a healthier option. So when it comes towards looking at the Chipotle, the options, yes, the salad and the burrito bowls are more attractive as far as you can keep the calories. It's easier to keep the calories low with those if you do the right things, as I'm telling you. Like the tortilla is like a big calorie option. I will only say, yeah, I would only probably do tortillas if you were only eating one meal a day, or as I said before, if you were having some type of post workout meal, then yeah, go for a flour tortilla. If not, just go with the burrito bowl or salad. I have no idea if they're priced the same way or if they're different. Go with whatever one is cheaper and then just add these ingredients. So you would add your chicken, your steak, whatever. Let's see, what is the difference? So it's like a 30 calorie difference here. Well, yeah, so yeah, I would probably, if out of all these options, so let's see what all these options look like. Let me just have them side by side. Okay. So when it comes towards these options, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, obviously you're going to go with the sofritas here because that's basically tofu, which I can't hate. Do what you got to do. But here we're going to look at the meats. And so even though I'm looking at this column right here, you see 32, 21, 23, 24. So the chicken and the chorizo sticks out primarily for the amount of protein. But when you look at the amount of total calories, obviously the chorizo contains a whole lot more calories than the chicken. So if you're, trying to lose some weight, go with the chicken option. That'd be your primary. Chorizo has a lot of fat and protein, so it's just a lot of calories right there. So I'll take that out. Uh, Same thing with almost all these others is in this case, you're trying to get your bang for your buck and you're trying to get as much protein as possible, which is always hard when you're on the road. So just go with the chicken primarily. Then after that, yeah, you can go with the steak if you want to. That'd probably be my second choice. Would be the steak or the the pork. Wait, I'm sorry, I haven't gone to chorizo in such a long time. I forget which is pork and which is chicken. But this barbacoa option right here is probably good. Oh yeah, because that's 24 grams to 7. So yeah, so I probably in the optimal order would be chicken primarily, and then steak or this right here, or yeah, any of these three after that. But primarily, I would go with the steak as the first choice. Excuse me, I said steak. I would go with the chicken as the first choice, and then steak as the second, third, fourth. Okay. White rice. If you're going to do a carbohydrate, go with the white rice. Is okay. It's not going to kill you. But if you're super worried about that, okay, take the white rice away and just double the black beans. Okay. There's nothing wrong with eating the black beans because black beans have protein and it has, yes, it has, technically, yes, it has carbohydrates, but the fiber and the type of carbohydrates these are, it's perfectly good for you. It's not a whole bunch of, of too much fat in the black beans because remember, I prioritize carbohydrates for my energy source for most of my clients and myself before I emphasize fats. And the reason I say all that is because if you go down here and you look at the guacamole, so I purposely left guacamole out because I know there's some people out there that practice paleo. And if you were going to practice paleo, which means you eat a very high fat, high protein diet, this is what I would do for you. But if you were being coached by me, or if you wanted to pretty much survive the road and you just worked out or you plan on working out and you follow a pretty good resistance type exercise, I highly commend you to follow the high protein, high carbohydrate, but a moderate amount of fats type diet. That's just much easier to follow when you're on the road a little bit. It's just easier because you're gonna find carbohydrate everywhere. You're gonna find little bits of fat everywhere. But there's some people who like to go hardcore, so I'm just gonna create a hardcore option for those out there. So if you truly are one of these people who believe paleo is the only answer, let me try and make you a paleo meal. So okay, so again, I select the chicken because you get your highest amount of protein. You know, skip the white rice, skip the brown rice, skip the black beans. You probably do a double, if not triple, amount of vegetables because you still need to eat your vegetables. That's a good thing. And then let's say you add your guacamole, right? And since you're following a paleo lifestyle, well, some people allow cheese, some don't. Let's say you're one of those people who do follow it, and you allow yourself to eat cheese, okay? And and I would say you could probably even have sour cream. I don't think it's necessary, but even if so, if this was your lifestyle, paleo lifestyle, you can, as you can see, the carbohydrates are low now, but the fat has gone up. And so that's why it's a key to remember that if fats go up, carbohydrates must go down. If carbohydrates go up, fats should come down. And so this is just me showing you that when it comes towards the overall calorie intake, because remember you're going to double the amount of chicken here anyways. So this protein really is like 75. So it's almost the equivalent of the meal I was making. So this is probably like a paleo option. If you wanted to highlight fats over carbohydrates, this is perfectly acceptable. You're going to get your chicken, double amount of chicken. You're going to skip the flour tortilla, skip the rice, skip the beans. Get yourself some vegetables and sour cream, cheese, guacamole, and romaine lettuce. So guacamole is a it's one of those things where avocados are pretty healthy for you, but what people forget about is the amount of calories that are in avocados. So avocados contain a lot of fat because that's what makes them healthy is the type of fat they contain. They contain the type of fat that you want in your body. Okay, so here's a good example of me just showing you exactly what's in avocados. So I hate when people say bad fat, good fat. But obviously, with avocados, the reason doctors like them so much and dietitians like them is because they contain a good amount of mono and poly unsaturated fats, which are quote unquote good fats versus the saturated fats, trans fats. I hate the fact they have saturated fats as bad fats. That's not entirely true, but I'm not going to argue that right now. But yeah, as you can see, like avocados are like something that's pretty healthy for you and are normally recommended. But a fat is a fat, and fats out of all your macronutrients, those are the ones that um, equate to the most calories. So for carbohydrates and protein, it's only 4 grams. 1 gram equals 4 calories, whereas with fat, 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. So when you use that ratio, um, yes, you may have a total lower number of fats than anything else, but the fact you times that by 9, that's why you get a lot of calories from fat. Okay, and so that's why in this case you just see the difference. Guacamole makes. In this case, in this example, I'm using paleo, so that's why these numbers at the bottom. It's okay. But if you're following a higher carbohydrate diet, so let me just show you what that looks like. So what we had our burrito, our chicken, We had white rice, we had beans, we had the vegetable salsa. Okay. So if you look down here, you see just how much everything rose up. And the 122 grams of carbohydrates, that's just a lot of fat right there that we don't need. So we will just just taking 22. You take 22 grams of fat out just by taking the guacamole out, and that's kind of helpful. It's like those little small things that makes the difference. If I was only eating this one meal a day, then yeah, I would probably add the guacamole to my double or even triple because I'm a big boy amount of chicken and to get all the protein I need for my day. Okay, so I know in this example I went over a burrito, but pretty much what I just did can go towards anything at Chipotle because really all these are the same things. You don't need the taco shell. As a matter of fact, the crispy corn tortillas, the soft tortillas, and all that. Now you don't. That's even worse than a flour burrito. So I say, excuse me, I said flour burrito, but flour tortilla in a burrito. So yeah, so you don't need the shelling. So I would go with the burrito bowl salad first option. If you just worked out, then maybe you can add a flour tortilla if that's the lifestyle you want. I'm okay with that. Me personally, I probably would take the flour tortilla out and probably just double the amount of beans and add more chicken because I don't need the burrito flour tortilla, and just do what I did before. So I hope this comes in handy. So next time you're at Chipotle, whether it's for a traveling trip or you on your lunch break or whatever, just use the advice, and please, 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 please make sure that you do not ruin all of this by getting yourself some type of soda. That's unnecessary. Yeah, they may have like a diet soda, but that's pushing it. That's really pushing it. I can't hate on it, but I would prefer you to drink water or unsweetened tea. So there you have it. This is how to survive at Chipotle. So have a great time. Get yourself a good meal and make sure you get your protein on and keep your waist nice and slim. This is MicVinny. It's been a pleasure serving you.